Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maverick Moses. I am an avid reader and author of the upcoming YA Dark Urban Fantasy Trilogy, Karma's Children, coming spring 2019. Today I'm going to be doing a very special holiday edition AuthorTube tag. I was tagged by the lovely and amazing Kim Chance to do the Ho 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 writing tag. I will be answering 10 different questions involving my writing and my writing process, all with a different Christmas theme. Please keep in mind that I did not script this video. I like doing these AuthorTube tag videos without a script because I tend to get the most genuine, fun, silly answers out of me when I don't use a script. So if I apologize in advance if I babble on about something or if I just totally lose track of what I'm saying and go off topic. I'm sorry, but yeah, just keep in mind this isn't a scripted video. Not even this little part right here is scripted. Number 1, Santa Claus. If you could ask Santa for one thing off your author bucket list, what would you ask for and why? I would definitely ask for doing a world book tour. That is definitely something that's on my author bucket list that I want to do at some point in my life. I think that that would be so amazing. And I don't just mean like a book tour to like different cities like in my state, because I can probably do that very easily on my, or not very easily, but relatively easily on my own. But I want to do like a world book tour, like something that where I can go and talk to people all over the world about my book who love my book and enjoy it, and that would just be one of the most biggest and most amazing goals that I can possibly have. And so I would definitely ask Santa Claus for that. Number 2, the ghost of Christmas past. What's one piece of advice you wish your past self knew about writing, or what advice would you give to fellow aspiring writers? So I started writing Karma's Children Discovery back in November of last year, so it's been a little bit over a year, and I didn't really start diving into my author platform until like April. So I would definitely say to try to dive into the writing community and growing your author platform right away as soon as you know that you want to start writing a book, because it not only is a great like platform builder for when you start selling those books, but you also get to connect with some amazing writers and be able to learn from them and grow as a writer and continue your process or continue your journey as a writer through them as well. Number 3, Elves. Santa has little helpers. What resource has been the most helpful to you or most invaluable to your writing process? So I definitely live by AuthorTube. When I first started writing my book, I definitely took to YouTube and searched for how to write this and how to write this and how to write this. And I found so many resources on YouTube, and then figured out this whole AuthorTube community is on there. And so I definitely find a lot of inspiration even now after I've watched so many AuthorTube videos in the past. Even now I still get to learn new things from them, and it is such an amazing resource, and it's completely free. Number 4, Gingerbread Cookies. What is your favorite holiday treat? What is your MC's from your current work in progress favorite holiday treat? Ooh, this is hard. So I don't really necessarily have like a favorite holiday treat. A holiday treat, I guess, for me would be my dad's lasagna, which I know is not like a sweet and not what the question was trying to ask for, but my dad makes the most amazing lasagna, and he only makes it during holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas because it takes him like 8 hours to make, and it's just a ton of work, but it's so good and the best lasagna that you will ever eat. As far as my MC's favorite holiday treats, so that's a difficult one. I think Krista would have a favorite holiday treat of like Mexican hot cocoa, because she really enjoys coffee and she also likes spicy foods. So I feel like that would kind of combine into like this nice like Mexican hot cocoa with like a little bit of a kick to it. Claus would probably like basically like anything with chocolate, and maybe if there was a way to protein mix with the chocolate or something like that, I don't know, but I feel like he would like that. And then Kevin, I think, would just be very traditional and like cookies. Maybe he would I think he would really want to do like a decorating of the cookies, like make like plain sugar cookies or something like that, and then have a bunch of different kinds of icing, and then be able to decorate them and design them any way he'd like, and then get to eat them. I think that's what he would really enjoy because he is very artistic. Number 5, holiday traditions. What is your favorite family tradition, and what fictional character would you like to share that tradition with? So one of my favorite traditions that I remember from when I was a kid was, when I was a kid, I would dress up as a Santa Claus and come out of the my bedroom or whatever dressed as Santa Claus and pass out gifts to my family members. And it was basically like a whole kind of like deal. Like I would dress up as Santa, and then my brother Evan would dress up as Rudolph, and like he would like pull like a little wagon that I was sitting in as like kind of like Santa's sleigh. And then I got to an age of probably when I was like, I don't know, 9 or 10 or something like that. Basically that age when you think that you're growing up and you don't want to do the little kiddie-ish things anymore. So I didn't want to do it anymore because I thought it was too kiddie-ish. And my brother Evan kind of took over instead, and he started dressing up as Santa. And after year, he started creating these like whole shows around it and a whole production, and it was so much fun. I got to help him with the productions, and it was a whole lot of fun. He would do like light shows and like things like on the TV and like video camera, and we would prepare this for like 3 or 4 days like in advance. And it was just incredibly fun and super cool to watch. He was so creative with this whole production, and he wanted to top it every year. So every year was just a little bit more crazy than the last year. And a couple of days ago, I actually just recently watched a video that I had posted on YouTube on this channel like years ago before I even started doing AuthorTube, where it was a video of one of our like Santa productions. And maybe I'll leave it linked in the comments below or something like that in case you guys want to go see it. I think I have it listed as like private, so you can't see it without the link. But it was so incredibly funny. I was watching it the other day and I was just laughing the whole time because I was just reminiscing on this really like awesome, fun time and Christmas tradition. As far as fictional characters that I would want to share that with, the first thing that came to mind was actually Harry Potter. I know that's kind of cliche, but my reasoning is because I feel like Harry Potter like lived such a sad life, and like Christmas was like so like sad and disturbing for him because his family would like either like lock him up so their guests wouldn't see him, or that they would make him be like their server during like Christmas parties. And I would want to share this with him just so that he can have like a really like fun, like family-oriented Christmas time. But I would also definitely want to share it with him maybe like pre-Hogwarts, like right before he got his invitation to Hogwarts, or maybe like first year Hogwarts, because that's when he's still a little young and can enjoy that kind of Christmas tradition and be able to have fun with it and enjoy it, even though it's not anything compared to the magic that he can experience at Hogwarts. Number 6, Star of Bethlehem. What started your journey to write your first book? Has your journey turned out like you imagined? And where would you like to see it go in the future? The thing that really started my journey to write my first book is so I got my associates from my community college, and then I was going to be going to a 4-year university, and financial troubles caused me to not go, and I was just going to work for a year. So as I was working, my dad encouraged me to try to start my own business, because college degrees nowadays like aren't even a guarantee anymore, and the best possible way that he could think of that I could create a living for myself was to literally create a living for myself and start my own business. So I started a couple of businesses. Nothing ever really soared off, and everything that I was trying, no matter how hard I worked at it, ultimately failed. And it got to a point where I was just becoming very depressed with it because everything that I was trying wasn't working. And finally my dad came into my room and he was like, what is the one thing that you're most passionate about? Like, what's your greatest passion in life? And I said writing, but I was like, I don't know like how I would, you know, go about becoming a writer. I've never even like thought about like writing a book like that. And he was like, well, just do it, like go for it, write a book, pursue writing as a career. And he's been instrumental in helping me through that, and I think there's a question later on where I'm going to be able to thank him for that. But anyway, that started my journey into writing and writing a book. And when I first actually started writing Karma's Children, it was a series of episodes. I was calling it episodes because they were basically like short stories, and I was going to be publishing them on Amazon as a short stories for like 99 cents, and then creating like a series of them that would build on each other and have one overarching plot line, and kind of like a TV show. And so I started it out like that, and then about 3 episodes through, which was essentially like 3 chapters through, I realized I didn't want to do that, and I wanted to just write it all as one book. So then it became one book, and it became a standalone. And then as I was writing that, I got about halfway through of writing that standalone book, and then I realized that my plotline is way too dynamic to fit into one book. So I decided to break it up into a trilogy, so now Karma's Children is a trilogy. So has the journey turned out like I imagined? Well, the journey just continuously changes and grows as I grow as a writer and as I continue with this whole journey and this whole writing process. So as far as that goes, my journey of writing Karma's Children has definitely changed, but the ultimate goal is just to become that published author and let all the crazy stories that are running around in my head all the time just like out into the world so that people can read it and enjoy it and have fun and be entertained. As far as where I would like the writing to go in the future, I definitely want to keep writing and keep publishing books and keep entertaining people, but I really just want to definitely grow as a writer in itself too. Like I'm currently pursuing self-publishing, but my plan for all of this is that I want to self-publish my first 3 books, in other words, the trilogy of Karma's Children, and then once I've grown that platform and grown that reader base, I want to start reaching out to agents and traditional publishers and get my next books after that traditionally published so that I can reach a larger fan base and a larger readership. So that would be a goal for my future as writing continues and I continue to write more books. Number 7, The Night Before Christmas. I literally almost read that The Nightmare Before Christmas because that's like one of my favorite Christmas movies. Anyway, what's your favorite book to read during the holidays? So when I first read this question, I thought of 2 books in particular. The first is A Cup of Christmas Tea. It was something that we read growing up. My grandmother actually kind of discovered the book. I think she may have discovered it way back when it was published in like the 80s. I don't know. But we started reading it, and it's basically about this guy who is invited to his grandmother or great aunt's house for Christmas, and he's like putting it off, and he doesn't really want to go because he doesn't want to be reminded of like how Christmas was back when he was a kid, when his great aunt was like super sprightly and fun, and now she's grown old and he doesn't really want to be saddened about that. But then he ends up going to her house and is just filled with the Christmas spirit once again because he sees that she's still filled with it. Despite being so like broken and old, she's still so happy to see him and so happy that Christmas is here. The second book I thought of is The Story of the First Christmas. So this is something that, again, we also read when I was growing up when I was a kid, and we still read it every year. It's a very kiddie-ish book. It has a lot of pictures, and it's a very short story, but it's about the first Christmas when Jesus was born. And I definitely wanted to highlight this because as a Christian, I celebrate Christmas to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, and I feel like so many people have lost sight of the genuine meaning of Christmas. They've been so caught up in like buying gifts for people and, I don't know, going caroling and doing all the other crazy Christmas traditions that are out there. It stresses them out, and they can't stop to remember the fact that we're actually celebrating the birth of Jesus. And I really wanted to just like highlight that, to give a point to what Christmas really means to me in my heart. Number 8, Christmas parties. What's your best advice for juggling writing with the busy holiday season? Yet to be determined is all I can really say. I have been juggling so many things this past month with NaNoWriMo, and then now going into December, we are approaching this holiday season, and I'm still writing my book. I'm still editing book 1. I am starting my work on creating an Etsy shop. More on that to come in the future. And I'm just, and then I'll have so many books that I got behind on my TBR list from when I was doing NaNoWriMo, that I'm trying to get all of those books in before the end of the year, and there's just so many things going on my plate. Honestly, I don't really know how I'm balancing all of it, so I'll get back to you later on that. Number 9, the Polar Express. So what writing rituals do you use to transport yourself into the world of your book or mindset of your characters? So above all else, I probably use music for this. I've said this once, or maybe even a couple of times before. I like listening to Lindsey Stirling when I'm writing because it's very like upbeat and instrumental, and it really gets me into that mindset of the book, because the book is very fast-paced as well. And then because it's very instrumental, I don't really get distracted by it. But I also like listening to Evanescence whenever I do really dramatic and climactic scenes, because that really gets me into that darker mood that Karma's Children is, because Karma's Children is a dark urban fantasy, so there are a lot of darker imagery within it. And so I like listening to Evanescence during parts like that to really get into that mindset of that darker mood. Number 10, sugar and spice and everything nice. In the spirit of spreading kindness and cheer, give a special shout out to someone who has been instrumental in your writing journey, or someone who has really helped you along the way. So I mentioned earlier about how instrumental my dad has been in pursuing writing as my career. He is so supportive of me. I still live with him, and obviously, like, that's a thing, because it helps me save on rent money. But he's just been so incredibly supportive, both emotionally and financially, and I definitely would not be where I am today without him and without his help. I also really want to thank Jenna Morassi and Kim Chance. They are the first 2 people that I discovered on YouTube back when I was first starting this whole writing a book thing a year ago. And I found so much encouragement and inspiration from watching their videos. So thank you, Jenna Morassi and Kim Chance. You guys are so inspiring to me, and you continue to be so inspiring to me as I continue this writing journey. I also want to thank all of the amazing writer friends and all of you who I've connected with on social media. I definitely find so much inspiration just in seeing all that you have to offer in this community, and all of the amazing content that you're bringing out to everyone, and the amazing help that you're doing. Thank you guys so much. I just couldn't be here without this amazing writing community who has been so supportive and encouraging of me, and just thank you guys. That is the end of this ho 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 writing tag. Thank you so much, Kim, for tagging me. I had a lot of fun answering these questions, and I hope all of you had a lot of fun listening in on my answers. Now that I've done the ho 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 writing tag, I want to tag By the Brook, Bethany Adazadeh, and Natalia Lee to do this ho 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 writing tag. And also all of you, if you want to do the ho 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 writing tag, just go ahead and do it and say that you were indirectly tagged by me. As I said earlier, Karma's Children Discovery, the first book of my Karma's Children trilogy series, will be released in spring of 2019, but if you can't wait to start reading it, click the link in the description below and sign up for my email list, and I'll send you the first 3 chapters of Karma's Children for free, so be sure to check that out. Keep in mind that I created that document before I started editing, and the editing process has kind of changed those first 3 chapters a lot. So it does definitely get a little bit more impactful and better, but you still get a grasp of the storyline if you want that little sneak peek, so definitely check that out still. I try to post new videos twice a week, so don't forget to subscribe and help support my channel. I would really appreciate it, and be sure to follow me on Instagram or Twitter for more on my TBR list, my writing, and see some cool aesthetically pleasing bookstagram photos. Then go friend me on Goodreads so we can connect more on our mutual love of books. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!